Hello, my name is Alexander Zambitis, and I'm a fourth grade teacher here at the Young Scientist program. Today's lesson is talking about cell-to-cell communication and how stem cells can interact with their environment. To start our lesson, let's take a look at our central question. How do cells talk to each other? Is it as simple as saying hello, or is it a little bit more complex than that? Take a second and pause the video to think of your answer, and we'll discuss it later on. First, when would cells want to talk to each other in the body? Our body is made up of tens of trillions of cells that must all be talking to each other to keep us healthy. The first example of our cells communicating is in our nervous system. This system is made up of specialized cells called neurons. Neurons communicate information between our brain and the rest of our body of how we sense the world around us. Our neurons are constantly communicating with each other to get information to the brain as quick as possible. Next, on the right-hand side, we see the immune system. It's our immune system's job to keep our body healthy from any bacteria or viruses that try to get us sick. If there are any harmful germs in our body, our immune system communicates to other cells that we need to make more germ-fighting cells. Lastly, stem cells must also communicate with their environment. Stem cells can turn into other cells in our body, like skin or muscle cells, but they must first get signals from our body to tell them what kind of cells to turn into. This way, the body can save energy by only making the cells that it needs more of from stem cells. Now, let's learn some new vocabulary, which we'll use in our activity and eventually our conclusion. First, a ligand is a molecule a cell lets out to send a signal to another cell. And a receptor is a part of a cell that the ligand binds to send that signal. Now we'll start our activity, where we'll model how stem cells receive signals from their environment to turn into either red blood cells or white blood cells. The role of red blood cells is to carry oxygen from our lungs to the rest of our body and take carbon dioxide back to the lungs for us to breathe it out. Our white blood cells are part of our immune system, which helps fight off disease and infection. Stem cells know when to turn into either a red blood cell or white blood cell by receiving ligands that bind to the stem cell's receptors. Now here are the rules of our activity. Players will either be assigned to a cell or a ligand. As you can see from the key, white blood cells are white circles, blood stem cells are blue circles, and red blood cells are red circles. White blood cell ligands have white gloves, while red blood cell ligands have red gloves. All of the white blood cell ligands start attached to any white blood cell, while red blood cell ligands start attached to any red blood cell. The goal is for ligands to reach blood stem cells to tell them what cells to turn into. Ligands can only move when the spinner says so. When all of the stem cells have been turned into other cells, the game is over. Here is our spinner for the game. It will either tell us that you're sick and need more white blood cells, or that you're bleeding and need more red blood cells. Let's take the first spin and see what we get. After our first spin, one white blood cell ligand reached a blood stem cell, so it turned into another white blood cell. Now there are only 2 blood stem cells left until the game is over. Let's take another spin and see what we get. On our second spin, the spinner told us that we're bleeding. Oh no! This means that ligands are being sent out to tell our blood stem cells to turn into more red blood cells. Let's see what happens. Looks like no red ligands were able to reach a stem cell, so we'll have to spin again. On our third spin, we're told we're still bleeding, so our red ligands will have another chance to move. Let's see if they get to all the blood stem cells. After 3 spins, all of our stem cells have had a ligand reach them. The final count was 2 new red blood cells and 1 white blood cell, all a result of cell-to-cell communication. In conclusion, cells talk to each other by sending out ligands, which bind to receptors on other cells. For example, stem cells can receive ligands to turn into various cells of the body. I hope you enjoyed watching this video on cell-to-cell communication. Please check out some of our other science videos on the USC JEP STEM YouTube channel, and have a great day.